fewer than 50 houses have been burnt and farm produce moved in a renewed communal clash in Jesu communities in Gombe. Recall that 19 lives were slaughtered with hundreds of houses earlier demolished by yet to be identified gunmen in the Waja Lugunda communal clash. An eyewitness, Eli Masinda, said that since residents had gone to Yode for safety, the gunmen used the opportunity to launch a renewed attack on Yuar on Sunday, the Punch reports. Maisanda said the villagers can see the fire from Yode. Some of them, the attackers, were caught in charm after looting grains from empty houses. Meanwhile, there is no help coming from the government. They have only been talking. It's all hot air. Another resident, Musa James, said it was a restless night because some part of Yuar Sakoluko and some houses belonging to Lugunda were also burnt down again. Also, one Dennis Kujir added that the gunmen visited the villages on Saturday and early hours of Sunday. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Ishola Babaita, confirmed the attack, adding that his men were able to stop more destruction. Somebody says, I'm speechless. So this is what Nigeria has become, a lawless country. It's been all because of brainless Fulanis, all right? Someone says human life does not worth anything in this country any longer. The amount of bloodshed going on in this country at a daily basis is highly alarming. Yeah, that is true, but what are we going to do about it? Things don't trend, and I'm not even saying that we have to be in a mood or a state of panic every single time, but we're not as proactive in terms of highlighting how problematic this is. And I think maybe it's because as Nigerians we're just so used to endurance. Endurance is preached to us, but not necessarily changing the system, not necessarily making our lives better. And I think that thing of because again, hard work and hardship, they're different. Like, do you got what I mean? Like, there's no point wasting energy going through hardship when hard work in a working system will make sure that your results are efficient. So it's like we push this idea of suffering, and if you suffered then you deserve wealth. Absolutely not. So it's not like it's a bit extra. Like, what's the reason? Our system is absolutely flawed, and this is it. I don't know, and I guess that's the reason as to why we're not necessarily paying attention as we should to these situations and give it the attention that it deserves. Because again, let's just decide what we want. Let us even have a family meeting. What do we want as Nigerians? Do we want to separate, succeed, or do we want to stay together? Let everyone state their opinions now so we know where we're going. Because I don't understand, like, why are we not planning for anything? It's actually getting too much. Somebody says, and someone will boldly declare, I'm a proud Nigerian. Again, the word Nigeria is not that it's not necessarily derived from something good. That doesn't mean we can't change our fate and how things can go on from here. But you're saying you're a proud Nigerian, that name, where is it coming from? I think it's more advisable to say you're a proud Lagosian, or you're a proud Yoruba person, or you're a proud Igbo or Fulani or whatever, or a Shakiri. Like, it's better to just be safe with that rather than saying you're a proud Nigerian, because with the history and the foundation in which the country was built on, Nigeria is not a good branding at all. It really isn't. Someone says, raise your hand if still a proud Nigerian. Again, I think that no one can raise their hands. I mean, what would you say? I think because the country had a bad foundation, and of course the country's foundation being profit and money and extortion and violence and corruption, it's bad that foundation set the tone of how the country is going to go. But again, we make choices and we make up the country. We can decide what kind of country we want, and we can change things around. There are no excuses, and the world does not owe you understanding. Fix it. Someone says, when you hear 50 house, you think it's real house, not knowing. Oh, so you don't have to be rude. Someone says, when you hear 50 houses, you think it's a real house, not knowing it's a tent constructed with bamboo and rope. That is so disrespectful. The fact is, the properties were destroyed, shelter was destroyed, and people were injured or dead. I think they burned 50 houses. Well, 19 people were slaughtered. So again, it's a huge situation. As well as Nigeria is a failed state, it was failed from the beginning. Again, when Nigeria's existence is based on profits and extortion alone, why are we surprised that that is literally how driven we are? Again, you have to understand the conquered behave like the conquerors. Aren't you seeing the reflection? And if you and again slavery, slavery and slavery went on for about what 400 years, and then they now reformed it. And it's now colonies and colonization. And then now they're reforming it as we're giving you quotes, air quotes, independence under the guise of human rights. Get away from it. I mean, the way human rights have been used to it's so sad. It is so sad. Someone says, you kill our people and you say unknown. You better preach. Someone says, Northerners, you people in the East are killing our people, and what you created in the North, revenging for our people you killed in the East. Is God not powerful? I mean, I don't know. I don't think God will revenge death with death. I don't even know. We need to fix this issue, and I think that it's alarming the way where everyone is chilling. I know. I don't know. Like, are we not scared? Are we not panic? I think we should be panicking. I think there's no point. Again, time waits for nobody, and it's so sad listening to Fela and what he sang and what he did. Like, no one even took him seriously. And now after he's dead, people are taking him seriously, and they're like, you know what? He actually had a message, despite of what you thought his character was and all that. It's sad that the same people he talks about in his songs are still here today in power. That's the most important. They are still in power. Yeah. So yeah, what do we plan to do? Silence, cricket, because other things that I genuinely believe should not necessarily take the forefront in terms of trending issues, like, especially on like Twitter, for example. It's just, I mean, I guess easy. I think we need to face the fact that our habits and our patterns reflect a traumatized people. It really does, and our coping mechanisms, which we have to fix by ourselves, because no one will fix it for us, and the world does not owe us understanding. Fix the issue. No one's gonna wait for you. No international help is needed. Fix it. And I think what is even more important, which is much harder, is that before we have a physical revolution, before we have a whole, big, change, that mental revolution, that mental emancipation has to come first, and it has to be done before we can now get into, because again, the way you think is the way you act, and on a mass scale, if that happens, then of course we're on the right path. But then again, how can we start up conversations and question the way we think? That's it. Question the way we think, and yeah, that's it. That's literally all. I don't know, but before we can get to a place of physical revolutions, that mental revolution needs to happen in our mind, or else. And it's even more it's even more hard, because again, everyone is compromised. We're a product of the system that we're in terms of corruption. We're all corrupt in one way or the other, and the fact is just that some people's motives are just very different. People haven't eaten, people have not gone to school, people have survival instincts in their mind first, and as a human, it's natural to cater to that rather than catering to something that doesn't feed you. But we're in a hard situation, and I think mainly we need to take it seriously. Boy, think in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.